Next one's an executive order enacting new ethics rules to government officials. I don't. Is that rules for thee but not for me? Is that?
Oh man,
that's a great as a quote. An executive order reversing regulatory process executive orders enacted by the Trump administration. I think that just sounds like they're cutting his regulation cutting stuff, basically.
It does.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's actually the top 17.
Well, he can be assassinated now, and Kamala can replace him because most of the hard work's done.
Exactly. Oh boy. So Dan Crenshaw was sort of dissecting some of these things. He said, "Who's this agenda helping? The Paris Agreement." Did we talk about the Paris Agreement? Oh no, we did.
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah, Paris Agreement. The China and European diplomats, it helps them. The Keystone Pipe. They're going to cancel the Keystone Pipeline. That's going to help the Russian oligarchs. They're stopping the wall, which is helping illegal immigrants. All of this screws over the working class. American priorities, small business, reopening and recovering, nowhere to be found. That is the situation we find ourselves in. The pipeline that we're talking about, guys, that was going from Canada to America, and it was really going to help them. Yet Joe Biden forgot that he promised to never end fracking. Yet here we are. We're in a situation where Canada is losing 2,000 jobs because of this, and America will lose 10,000 jobs. Day one. This is just one day. Isn't that insane? This is someone I've been meaning to introduce to actually both Riccardo and the audience. This is Maxime Bernier of Canada. He almost won control of the Conservative Party 3 or 4 years ago. And Maxime Bernier runs a alternative party now called the People's Party of Canada. It's an unfortunate set of letters because it's also the People's Party of China. But this is what he had to say about the pipeline.
Hi everybody. Sad news today for Canada. We just learned that Joe Biden will kill the Keystone XL pipeline expansion on his first day as US president. Now it is more important than ever for our prosperity to have a pipeline that would give us access to open sea and new markets for our oil and gas. The PBC is the only political party that will use the Constitution to allow the construction of an interprovincial pipeline. We will do it for the unity and prosperity of our country. You can count on us.
For those of you that couldn't stand the accent, his first language is French. That is one of the primary languages of Canada. But if I was in Canada, I'd be a member of that party because I've been following him for a while. He's pretty solid. He's got some really intelligent policies. I think he wants to pin the Canadian currency to gold or something.
Smart move. We'll do the same.
Sound
money. Sound money. It needs to be backed by something tangible and real with real value.
Hey, go on a tangent if you want. We've actually never talked about this. Isn't that funny? What are the benefits of doing that?
Well, because what they're currently doing, the major problem is that unsound money. The banks are lending you money on money that doesn't exist. They're actually earning interest on something that doesn't exist. Fractional reserve banking, really quickly, is the basis of it. Now, a bank, if for every $100, every $10 it's got in the bank, it can lend 9 because it only needs to have 10% in real currency in the bank. So its debt, the balance sheet on debt is huge, and they like it big because they can lend. They only need 10% of the actual amount of money they are lending. So you borrow 100, they only got 10. They fabricate with a digital touch of the keyboard this other fictitious money, which you are now paying interest on. So they're earning interest on something that doesn't exist. It's called fractional reserve banking. Now, this is the basis to our banking system, and it's a massive fraud. In the old days, sound money was backed by something. And if you had a dollar note, it was worth $1 worth of gold. Now, gold has retained its value, and the famous story that goes round is that 2,000 years ago in ancient Rome, a really nice toga, a real quality toga, would cost about would cost a gold coin, plus or minus. Today, that gold coin still buys you a really nice suit. So that one gold coin, that gram, not the gram, the ounce of gold, let's say, that's worth $1,300 or whatever it is currently worth, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years in Rome, it still bought you the nice suit. Today, that same ounce of gold buys you a nice suit.
Yeah. Isn't that
So
funny?
it retains its value.
Yeah.
But the fictitious money, the unsound money, the inflation that is created to reduce your spending power strips that away. But if it's actually based on something tangible and real like gold, then it doesn't do that. It retains its value. And if you look at the buying power of a dollar today compared to the buying power of a dollar 50 years ago or 100 years ago, you buy so much less. And that's an intentional strategy and outcome by the globalists who run the economy to make sure that we are constantly on the back foot. We just can't keep up. We might get a pay rise, but effectively our purchasing power goes backwards.
Yeah.
Because the dollar is not based on anything tangible. The old expression, "Oh, it's as good as gold,"
Yeah. Yeah.
that grew out of the decision to stop backing the dollar with gold. This is as good as gold was the
Yeah.
old expression. Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
That's very interesting. Yeah, gold's certainly something that, yeah, it'd be very good to see that sort of system come in.
We've had a lot of talk about unity, bringing the country together in this incredibly divisive time due to Donald Trump being a fascist. So while Joe Biden was guarded by 25,000 American troops, he said this in his speech at Inauguration Day yesterday morning. He said, "Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation, and I ask every American to join me in this cause." Now, first off, I'm really proud of him saying that in one breath. Secondly, he didn't write that. Thirdly, I don't know, Riccardo, what do you think about all
Well,
this?
was this the clone or was this the real Joe Biden? I've just got to put that out there. But anyway,
We get fact checked again.
this is... That's a pity AAP doesn't check that. Look at the earlobes, folks. Look at the earlobes. Sorry, let's get serious. Bringing people together. He's spent all this time tearing the country apart, dividing.
Yeah.
Again, it's a lovely sentiment.
Mm.
It doesn't originate from him. It's written for him. He has no idea what's going on. And it's great. It's a movie they're showing to explain to the people that things are good.
Mm. I can't help but point out that if he wanted unity, he could talk to the big tech oligarchs that really like him and say, how about you unban Trump? Wouldn't that be a step in the right direction? Why don't you unban all those tens of thousands of people you've been purging these last few days? It's not a bad start, you know. And you know, to his credit, I'd give him credit if he did that. But,
You're not putting the lie to what he said, are you? Oh, you're a bad man, Joel.
no, just trying to say. I'm just saying, Joe. I'm just saying, follow through. It's all about actions, right? Actions are louder than words. So, in the wake of all this, obviously, what we're seeing is a big crackdown. Hillary Clinton. I know. I'm sorry. I know you love my face. Hillary Clinton said this. She wondered if Trump spoke to Putin on the day of the Capitol riot. I would love to see his phone records.
I'd love to see her emails.
That's a great question.
You first.
You first. So basically, what we are seeing, everything we saw from the age of terror, Muslim terror, all of those weapons that we used in the Obama time and under the Bush time, the administration as well, they are now going to be turned on, not white supremacists, not white nationalists, as Biden noted. They're going to be turned on Americans. That is exactly what's going to happen.
Multiracial whiteness?
Yeah.
Wow, that is newspeak.
I know. They haven't heard this yet. So there was an article written. I think this is from the Washington Post. It said, in order to understand Trump's support, we must think in terms of multiracial whiteness.
That means black whiteness, brown whiteness, yellow whiteness.
Exactly. This is what they say. You have internalized colonialism in you. So I do apparently. I am a self-hating Syrian. You are a self-hating Italian. You are not a part of the endangered class anymore.
Oh.
See, they did this to the Asians, and then they did this to the Jews because they became successful. They said you have internalized whiteness, as if it's the grounds to stop you from going to Harvard, which actually that's a true story. You can fact check me on that. This is what we're looking at, guys. They are so deranged. They do not believe that a black person like this is the head of the chairman of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, who was not allowed to go to the protests.
Enrique Tarrio.
Enrique
Now,
Tarrio.
there's an English Celtic name.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so the cognitive dissonance, it's hilarious to watch. They can't understand how a black guy is cheering the white nationalists, the Proud Boys. By the way, the Proud Boys aren't really a thing in Australia, so everyone can stop, running around with their own fire. It's actually not a thing here. But it will become a thing if you guys keep this censorship up, we'll come to.